Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me this morning. I've got this special card to show you today. Just a quick couple of things before I start. If you'd like to join my Facebook group, it's called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials. All the PDFs for these cards in the file section in that group. If you'd like to hop in there and ask to join, I'll approve you. There is a couple of questions there that you need to answer. If you can't find them on the device that you're on, try changing to a different device. It's just why you'd like to join the group and also agreeing to the rules in the group. My YouTube channel that you're watching today is called Creative Gems. And if you haven't already subscribed, I'd love you to do that for me. I also have a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. If you'd like to hop in there and have a look. There's lots of cards in there, not necessarily the ones I do on my YouTube. They're all of the other cards that I do at workshops and classes. So without any more yabbering on, we'll get started. This one here is called a pop-up gift bag card. It's been around for a little while. I haven't done one for a long time, but I've had a few requests in my Facebook group from some of the ladies to show them a few different fun fold cards. So I thought I'd try this one. This one here I've done for a special friend for her birthday, and that's why there's two here, because one was my sample. So when you open it up, it's just a little gift bag in there, and it will fit a gift card or some scratchies, maybe even a little thin chocolate type thing if you want to put chocolate in there, and it folds back down. I have got a magnet under here. The first ones I did quite a while ago, I did put a belly band around, but the belly band has to go around this way, and then you could put your greeting on this way. But the belly band also, it needed longer than your standard A4 cardstock length, so you had to put a little extension piece in the back of the belly band. So these two, I've decided to use magnets. They're really thin magnets, but they're super strong. And that's that one. And I'll show you that this is the first one I did. I quite like it as well. It'll be for someone special as well. And you can put your gift tags inside of that. So that's what we're doing today. They both stay shut, and they're quite thin. I think you'd probably pay a little bit extra postage because there's a little bit of bulk in there, but it's not too bad. And I've got this front up on dimensionals as well. The happy birthday I got from, I'll show you the stamp set that I used. It's this Biggest Wish, and I've used the nice font ones here, not just the block letters. And I straddled the happy and the birthday on one block and stamped it on my card. So that's what that one is from. This one is their current DSP. This one here is a retired DSP, but all the others are current. So we'll get started on this. And as usual, I've prepped everything and I've got the measurements for you. I had to blot this out because I had the wrong name up there. I copy and paste from a previous one. So it's called a pop-up gift bag card. And I've also done a template of the little gift bag as well. So I'll show you that as we go. Your card base, and I'm doing a Christmas design today. I haven't scored anything yet. I want to show you as we go. The card base, which I'm using Real Red, it's 4.5 by 11 inches. And then the DSP for the fronts, which I have put somewhere, and I know I did that. I just had them a minute ago, and I know where they are, underneath everything. I'm just going to put them all together. So you need two of each, one for the front, and I alternate. So if you cut this size, the DSP here, the bigger one is 4.25 by 3.25, and there's one of each of those in that paper. And then 4.25 by 2.25, and there's one of each of those. And then all I do is alternate. So I'm going to put I think this one on the front for memory, and this one inside, but I'll show you that when we get to it. No need to worry about that for now. And then my basic white for inside, which is, it goes down underneath the little gift bag. It's 4 1/4 by 4 3/4, and I've already decorated this. I heat embossed all of this border, and I'll show you a little trick I did with this. I just went around, I used my buddy first, and I did all of this at the top here, the Merry Christmas and the little stars. And then I'd gone to bed last night and I thought, I need to pretty that up a little bit more. So I thought I'll go around the edge, and I buddied it all again so you don't get the overspray. And I just went around with my Versamark and just pulled it on the edge like that and got a little bit of the Versamark on it. Then I put it through my gold powder. I just did one edge at a time, did my gold powder, heated it off, and then I buddied again and went around with this. You can usually see how much Versamark you put on there, and just go around the edges like that with it. Makes a lovely border edge on it for you. And my greeting, I've done the same. This is the greeting that's going on the front, and I've used the deckled circles, one of the deckled circles. That's one of the new ones in the mini catalogue. So that's done the same with around the edge with the Versamark. So that's that little piece. You'll need, that's your basic white inside, and the basic white for the greeting is about roughly, depends on the size of your greeting. This one here is 3 by 2 1/4, and although that one there was a square piece, the 3 by 2 1/4 was for this one here. So it's up to you what size. Just get a piece of scrap white, and then 2 magnets you'll need as well. Then for the bag, you will need 1 piece of DSP. It measures 4 inches by 9 1/2. And a couple of pieces of ribbon, and I suggest you try and get some nice fine ribbon. If it's a little bit thicker, so long as it's fine, that will go through a little punch hole. I'm going to use this to punch. This is a retired punch from Stampin' Up. It's about 1/8 inch hole that it creates, and that's the one I've used to punch my holes, and these fit nicely through it. This is in the online exclusive store where you can buy, there's a duo pack, I've got them here, gold and silver trim combo pack, and there's a gold and a silver, and they're really nice and fine and soft, good for little handles, and they don't take up much space. So that's those, put them there. And I've also got some embellishments. This is out of the new mini catalogue, adhesive back star trinkets. I'm going to put a couple of those on as well. And they're my magnets. They're quite large in diameter, but they're really super thin. They're only about 1 mil in thickness, and I'll be using 2 of those, and I'll show you how to put those on as well. They do fit, this whole card will fit. This is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2 envelope. I get these online from a specialty place where I get all my envelopes. And I also use Stampin' Up for the standard size, but any odd sizes I get from a store online. 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. Well, the card, it fits nicely into that size. It's not quite square, but it fits nicely into there. So that's that. And some embellishments and ribbon, I've done those. That's all we need. Now I'll show you my little template that I've done. I try and do templates for just about everything I do. We're going to do the gift bag first, and it measures 4 by 9 1/2. And I'll just get out my instructions here so we get it right to start with and don't have to start again. And I'll show you the template as we go as well. Where am I? Oh, the gift bag. We're going to score on the short side first at 1 inch, which is there. And I'm going to go from this side. Normally I'd do 1 inch on that side, but we're going to go across this way. So I've got 1 inch. I'll move it down a little bit. Down there. We're going to score, don't cut. 1 inch and 3 1/2 inches, which is there. That gives you a 1/2 inch border, which is the bottom of your bag, and the wider 1 inch side is the top of your bag. Then you're going to turn it, and with that wider score line at the top, you're going to score at 1/2 inch. That will be one of the tabs that joins it all together. 1 inch. Four and a half. So the little concertina bit, that's 4 1/2 over there, is in the centre of the whole piece. 4 1/2, 5, 5 1/2, and I'll flip the arm out. We need it towards the end. I'll just move that out of the road, pull that out, and the last one is at 9 inches. So it gives you another 1/2 inch score on this end to join the two together. So that's that piece pretty much done. We're going to continue with the bag first. Now you can fold and burnish all those score lines, and I'm having that pattern outwards. This will fold in. My bone folder is here. Give it a nice burnish, and the bottom of the bag is the narrower fold. So that's the bottom. Now this here, it doesn't matter which way you fold this, you can adjust it afterwards. I folded them all the one way to start with, and then I adjusted them. Just make sure it's nice and straight along your sides there. Just start from this end. There's a 1/2 inch tab on each end, and then there's 3 scores in the middle. It does help to fold first before you do any cutting, because you can see where to cut. Got one there, one there. There should be one in the middle, in there. So that's all the score lines. 1, 2, 3. I did crease that one, but it's hard to see on this colour. So you've got those 3, and I'll go back to this, which is these 3 score lines in the middle. There's 2 on this end. I think it's on this end. No, it's on this end. Hard to see on this colour paper. Once you get your cutting done, it won't matter what to be able to see them. So that's that. There's 2 scores on this end, 1 on this end, and 3 in the centre. And the 3 in the centre, one will go, I'll show you from this. The centre one will push into a valley fold. So we have got, without seeing them, that's the valley fold. Then there's a mountain fold on that side and a mountain fold on that side, and that will create your little hinge thing down that side. You can see that, like so. Then we're going to cut, and as you can see, I've cut out these pieces. We're going to cut out each corner and these 2 centre sections and the 2 corners on this end. So we'll go ahead and do that. This end here, you've got your, oh, it goes this way. I'll cut it from this way. You've got your wider edge at the top. That's your top of your bag. And this end here, this tab end, it's probably easier to see the cutting. I can see it okay from here. So we're going to cut those 2 corners out. Snip them all the way through. And then just give this one a tiny little notch, not too much, just a little bit. I'll just get a little bucket to put my scraps in, so we don't have to pick them all up later. And that can go in there. And then this whole centre section, I am going to flip it over because I can see the lines better on this side. So this narrower piece at the bottom, I'm cutting out. And if you flip these backwards, like so, it's easier to cut that piece off. So you're just cutting straight along that 1/2 inch score line there. And the same on the other side, but there's 2 1/2 inch score lines on this side at the top. Oh, there was 2 at the bottom as well. I'm thinking of the wrong end. That's there, and this one is here. Just trying to get them as straight as I can. Fold this back so you don't cut the wrong thing. Snip that whole piece out. There's no notching in this centre piece. It's just that one little end tab. And then this other end, same, just cut the corners. Just cut, there's two lots on the corner, on this corner. 2 lots of 1/2 inch tabs to come off. No need for notching on this end. And you've got the narrower panel at the bottom and the wider panel at the top. So you end up with that, which is exactly the same as that. And that's your little bag. Now we're going to put the ribbon on next with my hole punch, and I'll measure this. There's my magnets. They're super strong, as you can see. It picked it up with my hole punch. With a ruler and a pencil, you're just going to go from these corner edges here and go in 1 inch and just put a little pencil on. I'm doing it on the back because it's a bit easier to see, and also I don't need to rub out the pencil marks. So just on that score line, just go in 1 inch from each cut line, and the same on this side, in 1 inch, and this one in 1 inch. Once you get this bag done, it's pretty simple to put together. So I'm going to hole punch on those where I put those pencil marks. I don't know if you can see it really well there. I'm just lining up with my, and I go right on the score line. It's just as easy to do it there, and it comes out nice and neat. One there and one there. So you've got 4 little holes, and there's no need for tying knots or anything. What I'm going to do, I'm going to put a strip of my stamp and seal just down below those punch holes, and one on this side. Thread your ribbon through, or your twine, whatever you've chosen to use. You could use baker's twine as well. And I took about 1/2 inch, about that much, and I just stuck it down to the inside, then thread the other side through. And if you, the twine was 6 inches long, so if you do 1/2 inch on each side, it'll give you a 5-inch handle. And if you do them pretty much the same, then you know your handles are going to be nice and even when you they're pretty close, like so. And we'll do the other side. This is just a little bit slow, this process, but it's worth it. I'll be making a few of these for my friends that I give gift cards to. I think it's a cute little bag. This ribbon's not going to come out in a hurry because you seal this top piece down as well. I did try a different twine on one, and it kept, it was on the first one I did. It's the new in colour twine, and it was, it kept unravelling all the time. So it wasn't the best twine to use. And then we'll just move that one across. Try and get it so it's all stuck down in there, like so. Then I'm going to put another strip of snail across here, because this whole piece is going to get stuck down, and you can push that down. Gives you a bit of a contrast inside your bag as well. And they're your little handles. Then, and I'm going to use tear and tape on this piece. This is going to come like so. One of the end tabs over this single tab. And because you've notched this, I would put the unnotched piece over the top, and it just makes it tidy under there. You're not having to worry. So I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape down there, which I did get my tear and tape out. Here it is. Got everything at the side here already. And just put a piece down this edge here, close to the score line, but not on it. I know the second one I did, the next step that we're going into, I put my tear and tape on the wrong side, so I fixed it. You wouldn't know it was not right. So I would do this, make sure that the top and the bottom are even long. You're going to, it's not easy to, if you go, I think if you go like this, that would be easier, Laura. So it's going to line up with the top of the bag. I think it's back a little bit. It's not quite even. Right there. That's better. I'm just going to snip that little bit off. Obviously my score line wasn't perfect. Just going to trim that little bit. And that's your bag. I'll show you when we go into put it inside the card. That's another process. But you can put, and this is where you put, I made a mistake on one of them and I had to fix it. I had to put another piece of DSP. I had put the tear and tape on these sides, but it goes on the outside of your bag. So we'll put that on now while we're getting the right angle. And it goes just along that score line, or just under the score line, not on it. I didn't recommend liquid glue on this because you need something that's going to hold quite firmly, and also it takes a little while to dry, and I didn't want to have to sit and wait for it to dry. If you move the bag around too much while it's drying, it keeps slipping out of place. So use tear and tape, or you could use your snail, but this way I can do one side at a time. So we'll put that aside. That's pretty much done. Now our base, which is this red piece, and it gets scored. There's 2 scores on this, at 1 and oh no, that's the gift bag. I'll make sure I get my correct measurements. Where's my first sheet? I've got that one. Oh, here we go. Done the gift bag at the top. The base, 3.5 and 8.5 on the long side. So we've got 3.5 there and 8.5. On that side. And that's all the folding and scoring there is on that piece. So we'll push that down. Now this piece, you've got to be careful. Make sure you put your magnets down before you put your DSP down. Otherwise, they won't be in there at all. And the shorter fold comes to the top and it overlaps like so. So you're going to put a magnet on this top side here, and on this top of the outside of this and the inside of this one. So I'm going to put them on first so we don't get them without the magnets. I'm just going to get 2 out of here, and I'll show you the way I do it so that they're nicely lined up. Just need 2. Put those back in their little case. I get a glue dot and I put it on one side. Now the 2 are still stuck together, so that way you know your magnets are the right way round. They won't stick together if you've got them back the front. I know that because my husband's an electrician and he tells me that you've got to have the magnets at the right side. So I've put a glue dot on one side of that. Then I'm going to put it, and I don't want it, I want it centered in here. This is the top section, the smaller section. But I don't want it up close to the edge. Go down at least 1/2 inch 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch and push that down there. Then get another glue dot and put it on the top of that, like so. Whoops, let it hold there. You can see how strong they are. And then just close it down on that, so it's nice and even on your sides, and that will pick up. So they've both got glue dots down. You can put some more tear and tape over the top of that if you wish, but I didn't, and mine seemed to be working okay. Then we can go ahead and put all of our designer series paper on, all these little panels. Now I think I'm putting that at the top for memory. No, actually, I'm doing it the other way because I'm putting my greeting down the bottom. So this one will go here, this one will go here, and then the reverse on the other side. So I'll use my snail again, my stamp and seal. It keeps pulling up. You could use tear and tape on this. I wouldn't recommend your liquid glue here either, because you've got that magnet there and you need something to seal it down a little bit more. So that's the top of that, and then the base piece will go over the top of the magnet. I didn't like the reds at the other side of this piece. It's a bit too much red for me. I like red at Christmas, but not many other times. I don't mind this green. This is Pretty Peacock, the green colour. It's in one of the new Christmas papers. Just trying to get that straight. And it's nicely sealed down underneath the DSP, the magnet. And then the reverse on this, on the inside, you need to put these pieces down before you put your little bag in. This doesn't want to work today. Must be, it's getting towards the end of it, and that's when it starts to play up. So this one will go over the top of this magnet. Do it properly this way, so we get it even, reasonably even. And that way it'll seal around. If you've got the seal on the top of that, it'll seal that magnet in as well. It's not going to come out anywhere. And then this one will go at the bottom. And then we've got the white piece to put in the centre. Unless you flick it, it doesn't come up ready to roll for the next one. So that one will go in there. You can only just feel those magnets under there. If you get them nice and thin, I think it was about a 1 mil. I mentioned that before. And this piece will go in here. So that's the top of your card, the narrower piece. It's going like so. So I'm going to put it up this way. I'm going to put this panel in here. Almost done. A little bit of decoration to do. That will go around that way. Nice and even. Plenty of room there for writing. And then I'll leave the front till last. We'll put this bag in next. So what you're going to do, just take off the backing off one side of your tear and tape, and with that open side, the tear and tape that you've just taken off, center it this way across your card and down, and it's going to go level with this score line here. You can put it right butt up against the score line, even on both sides, like so, and butt up against that score line. Try and get it straight. Push it down. Then before you even open it up, just take this off this side, Keep your bag nice and flat and close that up like so. And then when you open it up, your little bag sits up. How easy is that? Cute as. I love the gold on it. It takes a little while for this because it's got a little bit of thickness in there. Just keep pushing. It will eventually stay down. It's good now. Then I've got my greeting for the front, which I'm putting up on dimensionals, which I did get out somewhere. Just 5 or so of those on the back. We're getting closer. I've got a retreat coming up in October, not too long away, and they're doing all Christmas cards. Seems a bit early to be doing Christmas things, but you've just got to go with the flow, I suppose. So that I'm centering in the middle there. And the embellishments, I'm going to put a couple around here and probably a couple up the top. I'll get these open. I didn't get too much on the pre-order for the mini catalogue yet. I'm doing a big order next week because we need it all for the retreat. We're doing 10 projects. I'm just going to scatter some of these smaller ones. And I'll put 2 bigger ones up the top where we can see them. I'll just scatter them around. That will do. All done. How easy is that? Quite cute, with your little bag inside, ready for your gift bag or your whatever you choose to put. And close it up again. The belly band, I think, I'm not sure of the measurements. If you do it about 1 inch wide and do the join at the front, you'd probably need another little piece about inch and a half long to join the two, because it's not there's not enough cardstock in a straight. Maybe if you use 12 by 12, it could get it out of that, but I did do one years ago with a belly band and I didn't like it as much. I prefer the magnets. And you could use a little one of those hook and loop velcros dot things. You could use that if you wish. I find those a little bit thick for what I want to do, but that's all of our cards for today. I hope you like those, all with the little gift bags inside. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I shall catch you all again next week. Have a lovely week. Bye for now.